Hi everyone, it's Kylie from Little Moo Designs, popping in quickly today to share with you a video on how to sew the fortune cookie pouch. This pattern is a free pattern on my website, www.littlemoodesigns.com. You can jump on and print your own copy off. These make a great gift and can be filled with a gift voucher or chocolates, perfect for teachers. And everyone that I've ever given one to has found them super handy. I think you're going to like sewing this with me. So here's what you need to get started. You need to jump onto my website, littlemoodesigns.com, grab yourself a copy of the fortune cookie pouch pattern and print it off. Today I'm sewing with rainbow cork. So I need one piece of cork measuring 6 inches high by 9 inches wide, a piece of fabric for the lining with lightweight interfacing on there, it's already fused, and a zipper. The zip is 8 inches or more in length and is a number 3 zipper. This is really important. Rather than using number 5s, try and use a number 3 if you have them on hand. It will give your pouch a nicer finish at the end. You can also add a little loop to your fortune cookie pouch to make it like a keyring. I'm not doing that today, but I will try and show you where to insert that before we stitch. So let's get started. So step 1, you need to fuse your interfacing to your lining fabric piece. Then you need to grab your zipper, lay the exterior fabric, which will be cork, like so, with the right side facing up towards you. Lay the zipper with the zipper pull facing down on one of the short edges. So my zipper pull is here. I'm going to lay it facing down, like so. You're then going to take your lining piece and lay it on top, lining up these short edges. And I'm just going to hold them in place with some Wonder Clips, or you could use pins if you like. Like so. We call this one a zipper sandwich. I'm now going to stitch along this edge using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'll do that and come back. I didn't use a zipper foot, I've just used my universal foot, and I've used a 2.5 stitch length on my Brother A150 that I sew these with. You're then going to open your pouch up like so and make that nice and flat. Now I don't iron, I just finger press that back, and I'm then going to top stitch along this edge, remembering with cork that you may need to use a Teflon foot, and I'm going to increase my stitch length to a 5 on this machine that I use. Okay, the reason that I use a number 5 or the longest stitch length on my machine for cork is we want to get that really nice finish. I also sometimes use a leather needle. It just depends on which type of cork that I'm working with. I always use a Teflon foot, which if you haven't seen, they look like this, and they're non-slip basically. If you don't have a Teflon foot though, you can put washi tape on the bottom of a universal foot and it will make it become non-stick, just like a Teflon foot. It's my hot tip for today. Okie dokie, so I have top stitched along here. Keeping the zip closed, you're going to take the short edge of the cork and line it up with the other edge of the zipper, like so. You're then going to take the lining fabric and line it up with the opposite side, like so. Can you see that there? And just, again, hold in place with some Wonder Clips. This does tend to slip. You can use pins if you prefer. As long as you pin in the seams, you won't see that on cork. You can see what this looks like. I'm now going to stitch using a 1/4 inch seam allowance and just my regular stitch length of a 2.5 on my Brother along this pinned edge, and I'll be back to show you. Okay, your next step, and this is where it's important that you're using a zip longer than the pieces of fabric that we're using. Unzip your zip and turn your pouch the right way out, like so. I'm then going to go and top stitch again along this edge. Having a zip longer than the fabric means that I can get this edge in under my machine. I'll do that and be back. Okay, so this is what you should now have. Top stitched both edges. Yes, my zip is still longer, but we're going to keep that and we will trim it soon. Next step is to turn your pouch inside out. So we zip open and flip around like so. Now, fun fact here. You can make flat pouches rather than the triangle version of the fortune cookie pouch by pinning and then stitching across here and across here, and that fits a packet of the pocket tissues, you know, those little packets. So that's something that you can do at this point, or if we're following the pattern, we're going to do the triangle version. So what we're going to do first is, just let me find my wonder clips. We're going to pin this edge and we're going to stitch straight across. So we're centering like so. Put a couple of clips there. And using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to go and stitch across this edge. When I get to my zip, I like to stitch back and forwards over that a couple of times. Some people do like to zigzag across this edge. I don't. I just use a straight stitch. It's inside. These are a quick pouch and I'm usually mass producing them anyway. So for me, the quicker the better, but that certainly is an option. You can also add bias tape if you don't like raw edges. I'm going to go and using a 1/4 inch seam allowance and my 2.5 stitch length, I'm just going to stitch across the stitched edge, the clipped edge, sorry, and back and forwards over my zip a couple of times. I'll do that and I'll be back. So you can see I've stitched over here. I'm just going to cut off the excess. Give me 1 second. Using a rotary cutter. I then like to use fray stop just across that edge, particularly on the zip. Just like so. I then just let that dry for a couple of seconds. Flipping to the last page of your pattern instructions. Something I meant to point out before is you can see my zip head is at the top. This is if you want your fortune cookie pouch to zip from the top to the bottom. If you want it the other way around, you could just reverse that step. Okay, now to get the triangle effect. So we need to unzip the zip all the way down, like so. You're then going to pinch this way to make the triangle shape. See, like so? Okay, so the important part of this is to line up the zip teeth really nicely. Put some clips again, holding that firmly. Now, at this point, if you were going to add the little key ring or a swivel clip maybe so that it can be a keyring fortune cookie pouch, you would do so in this seam. So you would put a piece of cork or fabric, whatever you want to use, or ribbon, and you would you would double that over on your swivel and you would sandwich that inside there, fold it over. I'm not doing that for this one today. These actually look really cute hanging on Christmas trees too. I think someone did that last year. So now again, using my 1/4 inch seam allowance, I'm going to stitch along this edge. When I get to the zip, I'm making sure those teeth are lined up nicely and I'm going to go over, back and forwards over that a couple of times. Again, you could zigzag, you could cover this in bias if you like. I'm just straight stitching today and trimming. Okay, so you can see I've stitched across here and I've gone over my zip a couple of times. I'm now just going to trim that excess off with a rotary cutter or scissors, like so. Now, on this little zipper edge here to get it to sit nicely when you're trying to zip your zip closed. You'll see what I mean when I turn this the right way out. I like to cut this on an angle. So again, you can use scissors rather than a rotary cutter, but I just cut off that excess like so that there's little bulk in that seam. I probably could go a little bit more actually. So you can see there isn't much bulk there at all, particularly on that edge. So again, just fray stop, and particularly over that join. And we just let that dry. Okay, so that's dry, and now you're going to turn your pouch right side out. Just go slowly and gently, like so. Gets a bit tricky with the cork, and I'm just going to find one of my chopsticks to poke out those edges like so. There we go. It's a little stray thread. There's always one, isn't there? Then we just zip up our pouch. Now see that edge there? It just sort of folds in, and the more that you use your pouch, the more it will take the shape of that edge. There's still a bit of bulk I could cut out, so if that bothers you, you just need to cut as close to your stitching as possible. I think that looks pretty flash though. Beautiful fortune cookie pouch done. Here's one that I made in fabric some time ago, so fabric works beautifully as well. You might just want to put lightweight interfacing on both your fabric pieces, or even some fusible fleece to give it that boxed finish. And there you go, that's how I make my fortune cookie pouches. So head across to littlemoo-designs.com, grab yourself a copy of this pattern and get sorted for Christmas with this fun and easy project. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.